Oh, but hello, all my wonderful, beautiful brothers, all the wonderful, beautiful Maverick Nation. And I got a new one here for all y'all. Yes, that's right. Another new What If. You know, my old channel, I got a lot of, some Sonic characters, and people basically mix. Basically, I got me if I mix into Sonic.exe, I got me. But basically, I also got Izuku mixing with Sonic.exe. But before all that, you have to acknowledge the original, and that is what if Izuku Midoriya was Shadow the Hedgehog? That series of movie-like, videos. Because the first movie wasn't even a full movie, it had to be halved because of how long the damn thing was. And for some reason, YouTube won't allow me to have things like videos. Actually, it isn't even YouTube. It's, for some reason, the app won't allow me to have things that are over 3 hours long. So, yeah. Before was Izuku. Now I plan Naruto. And even though I already did that on the other channel, the way I did it, I don't think I am really all that satisfied. Actually, scratch that, I am generally not satisfied with the way that I did that. I genuinely feel like I could have done better, and that I should have done better by both of the characters. And well, as for why it's this machine, theme of Team Dark from Sonic Heroes, well, I didn't want to do anything from Shadow the Hedgehog, the game. And, well, I didn't really feel like doing the, Sonic 06 version of a Shadow the Hedgehog, something that came from Shadow the Hedgehog, All Hell Shadow, basically the 06 version. Even though that's like one of my freaking favorite pieces of song type media ever. So, since it's not Shadow the Hedgehog, and not 06, where, Shadow is very prevalent, well, what about the game where he first started out, Adventure 2? Well, I'm not really sure if I would pop his theme up here, or, well, even the final theme whenever him and Sonic are facing. Because there's something, there has to be something else. There has to be another theme that would go good with this. And so, I looked in my brain hole, and I found a game before Shadow the Hedgehog, but after Sonic Adventure 2, called Sonic Heroes. And Shadow is actually part of a team in there called Team Dark. And the theme of Team Dark is this machine, and that's what you're hearing right now. Since Shadow is a part of that team, well, yeah. That's why this is what you're hearing. I needed a solution, I found one. And so, how exactly are we going to do this? Well, all the Sonic games up until now, this story takes place after all of them. Legit all of them. I heard there were maybe another game or a couple games after Frontiers. But basically, yeah, after all that shit, basically that's whenever this starts. For the Sonic characters. And basically, because of everything that's happened in every single game that Shadow's ever been in, he's got to do a lot of introspective thinking every now and then. It's just this time, how far back he's never went this far back. This time he went even further back than, the scene at the Ark with Maria. That final scene with her. He went as far back as basically when he was shown whenever he was in the thing and basically Gerald and Black Doom were talking. He went that far back. And this has caused for some crazy shit to start happening because, Chaos Emeralds turned thought into power. That apparently I believe that's a line from Sonic Adventure 1. Basically, but it's, Chaos Emerald's, part of Shadow's thing. So, yeah, basically, he's going crazy introspective if he's thinking that far back. Things that he was shown in Shadow the Hedgehog that date way far back, like 50 years back, from his own, shit whenever he was awoken in Sonic Adventure 2 by Eggman. Jesus. So, just how introspective he's being, that is a lot of thought. And, this is all the way back then to, now. So, yes, that much time he's been thinking through, and is currently thinking through now, repeatedly. Going through this, different scenarios and how he could have done it. And how other people could have done their roles in this whole big, whatever the fuck it's supposed to be. Are they all just puppets on strings? He doesn't even know anymore. It's just he's so freaking introspective on all this shit. Going so introspective, and it's causing the Chaos Emeralds, turning his thoughts into power. He is thinking so damn much, and his thoughts are so damn freaking packed. The power is crazy. That is actually, brought up because of, turn thoughts into power. The power that's actually brought up is packed as fuck. And it's basically turning in, Shadow's thing. Not really stopping time, but not really, teleporting him or anything else that the Chaos Emeralds usually allow Shadow to do that our characters can't really do all that well or do at all. Because he's just that tied in with them. In the major lore of Sonic, that's how good he is. Even Knuckles would have, hard of a time to be that impressive of a feat with that Chaos Emerald power. And he's the one who's supposed to protect the Master Emerald, like the big granddaddy long leg of all the other Chaos Emeralds. Then you have Blaze, who is the princess, and her role basically to protect the Soul Emeralds in her dimension. And apparently her dimension is also part of a chaotic future that is a result of, a whole bunch of shit gone wrong. So, basically, yeah. This isn't either of those. This is pure warp. And the first thing that happens is, Tails and Omega, Omega's our fucking robot, and Tails is like their genius dude. So automatically, they would know what's up. This is pure warp. If they touch it, they're going to get warped with Shadow to wherever the fuck he's basically going to send himself to. Because apparently he can't stop himself. If what they're sensing is correct. He is literally, whatever he has just done, he can't stop it. He can't stop him. He can't stop himself. He has finally just now woken the fuck up, and he can't stop himself from just jolting in and vaulting into some other place. But it's not like any of the other things in Sonic Frontiers. It's not like any of that shit. No, it's completely different. Well, for the most part. Like the whole Siskel and Ebert line, how it told me you miss the something on that. Well, you missed the harbor. Yeah, basically that. If point A is their thing and point B is some total other thing, then Shadow just vaulted himself over to point B without even thinking once or twice about point A. And whatever's in the middle that is somehow connecting the two, but not connecting them at the same time. Need that wiggle room. Even if it's just a bunch of dead air space and time. Hoodoo bullshit. And basically, as for the Naruto verse, what time are we in the Naruto verse right now? Well, apparently, not too long after, Minato basically got, inducted in as Hokage. And well, decided to have a couple drinks with his master and his wife. That is until, she's like, actually can't do that because, another new surprise. I'm pregnant. And well, that just makes Minato's world. And, Tsunade is actually there as well. And the only reason she's at that exact spot is because she just lost a lot of money. Again. Just because of the fact that she's in Konoha, she knows her limits. Somehow. They got her to freaking know her limits. Somehow. And basically, Minato, seeing as basically, he wanted to assign Jiraiya the role of Godfather. And basically, Orochimaru had left the village because of the whole thing, like, not becoming the fourth Hokage, whatever. Well, the only one left will be, Tsunade, and, she'd be the perfect... And, this is mostly Kushina saying this, actually. She feels like, she's a really good friend with, like Tsunade, and Tsunade's, really good friend with, like, Kushina. And so, Kushina thinks that she wants Tsunade to be, like, if Jiraiya's gonna be the godfather, then she wants Tsunade to be his godmother. Is that understood? And, Minato's like, of course, why not? And so, yeah, not long after that, basically, Minato has to collect his things while in his office, alone in his office, until, BANG! Just something crashes through the damn roof. Just like in Adventure 2, whenever he basically crash lands. After all that shit, and they, like, Rouge and Omega and whoever find him, and, like, in the middle of wherever in Sonic Heroes. I think they do, or someone does, or whatever. Basically, yeah. Shadow did not make a very graceful landing. But thank God he is still conscious. And able to actually, in his defense, explain shit to where it's actually believable. At all. And, Minato is just like, fuck. And I just got told by my own wife that she's expecting. And, well, we decided the godfather and godmother would be the only two Sannin that are still in the village. And just from Minato alone, Shadow is learning a lot about this new world that he's in. And Minato was actually happy to allow him to learn from him. Basically, just right from him. He has no problem, no qualms with it. Because, if Shadow's not someone here to harm them, then he's perfectly happy to be his normal, cheery, happy self. happy-go-lucky self. That the people of Konoha see, and his enemies on the battlefield. That's a whole totally different other story. And Minato, even without Shadow even asking him to see them, shows him his two famed techniques. The Rasengan and the Flying Raijin. He actually does admit the Rasengan is incomplete because he needs to add a nature transformation, and he does explain to Shadow what those are, and even advanced nature transformations. Basically everything that Shadow would need to know is explained to him by Minato. And in Minato's head, he's kind of starting to feel like he already has a son. If only in surrogacy, surrogacy, however the fuck you supposed to say that word, surrogacy in Shadow. But surrogacy be damned, Shadow is actually, a pretty nice guy. Hasn't really done anything to try to hurt anybody, so as far as he's considered, pretty nice guy. And the leader of this place is being so damn nice to him, and just a pleasant person. So why would he? And besides, he has no idea where the fuck he is, unless he were to learn from, word of mouth of someone, and apparently someone is willing to word of mouth right the fuck away. The person that he was right in front of whenever he landed. Not so gracefully, might I add. Their freaking leader, and apparently his name is Minato Namikaze. Basically, he's actually decided on an idea. And this is actually something that I got from my tormentor, thing that never really got off the ground. Tails was kind of a sleep raging on booth for the 4th in that. So I'm going to do the same thing with Shadow. Basically have him be the 4th closest man. Besides Jiraiya. Because, the 4th, his teacher is Jiraiya. So besides Jiraiya, his closest person being Shadow. Even deciding to even go as far as to, as long as he's here, take up the name of the person who's teaching him all of this. Namikaze. Shadow Namikaze. Oh, and the things he's heard about this guy's wife before he even gets to see her. And apparently he's told to hide before he can get ready for any of this. And before Shadow can ask what any of this means, he's basically giving the ambush signs, and Shadow automatically knows what those signs mean. And, he's like, get out of Dodge. But he's still able to see everything that's happening. Someone definitely look at that are developing a belly. And that means everything that Minato said definitely was the truth. His wife is expecting. and getting very close for that expecting to be no longer expecting because it will be out and about in the world of the living. Getting its first taste of either moonlight or sunlight, depending on, well, whenever it's frickin' born. But also first, taste of actual frickin' fresh air. And those little tiny lungs. But also from all of this conversation, that Minato is constantly, throughout the conversation, making sure that Shadow does not come out of his hiding spot. That he express made for him, small enough for him, to fit in, and big enough for him to fit in. Just the right amount of size. And just the right amount of space for him, his eyes, to be able to see through and see everything he needs to see. And even hear everything he needs to hear. Though he doesn't see much need for the flak jacket and all the stuff. Though he does see this different mask that Minato says he even will let him choose from. Because there's not, after the Third Shinobi War, a lot of shinobi died. And so, some masks are left, needing an owner. And so, seeing as they don't want to steal the crow motif because that's Itachi's thing, but Sasuke, to my knowledge, has ever summoned a falcon once. I'm going to say that there's a falcon mask. And, Shadow not wanting to be too obvious about his own whole thing, not taking up the crow one, but instead the falcon one. The falcon Ambu mask. And besides, the time that Sasuke summoned the falcon was during the fight with Danzo, during the Five Kage Summit. The invasion of it. So, yeah. Well, now that he's basically chosen a mask, and, well, Minato's actually been thinking, what if he were to use some special chakra reinforced metal in, some of the shinobi stuff, Shadow will be, packing, not just, on him, but even some of the stuff he'll be using, just in general. There's, metal inside of, whatever armor, a very sleek, very light metal fishnet underneath all that armor. So that Shadow can feel very, invested in whatever is going on at the time. And instead of the traditional green flak jacket, well, considering Shadow's natural colors, and well, Minato really never has had anyone in his time as Hokage, his tenure as Hokage, well, that has ever, worked under him, be who Shadow is, or what Shadow is, basically. So he's decided to, bend the knee and change the colors around to fit something more Shadow. And that's black and red. After all, he is going to be a super secret sleeper agent, Anbu. And even some of that is reflected in his mask, where most of it's white, but there can, be seen some streaks of black and red, with more of the red streaks on the outside and the black streaks on the inside. Black inward, red outward. But that's more towards the middle of the mask, not towards anywhere else. Towards where the beak is, but not exactly where the beak is. So I guess you could call it a snout area? I don't know. Like just below the forehead and around the snout area, maybe? Like there, I guess. Taking wild shots in the dark here. But basically, whenever Minato asks, Shadow what he thinks, he's surprised to see that Shadow actually genuinely does love the stuff that he got. And even the sandals are different. They're not the traditional blue, like Shinobi blue. They're Shinobi black. And, even some red in between some little notches to still continue to fit Shadow's aesthetic of, what, covers most, if not all, of his body. Fur. Because, he's a hedgehog. Anthropomorphic hedgehog, but still a hedgehog. And so, he just has to find, the area of the quills where he can fit the strap so that, he'll be able to, fit that on, put that thing in so that the mask will stay on. He doesn't want to look like a joke in front of all the other Anbu. That's not how Shadow is. He is the ultimate life form. Damn it. Just saying that right now reminds me of Shadow the Hedgehog the game. And the gun commander. Towers. Basically, you guys are probably wondering how this all fits into Naruto being Shadow. Well, it's simple. The night of the Kyuubi attack. And, Minato's fight with the Masked Man. He still puts on the control seal. And, Obito still flees like a little bitch. After getting his ass kicked by Daddy. I'm so sorry. I just had to make that joke. It was so obvious, if I didn't make it, someone else would, so I had to make it. Basically, the night of the QB attack, you best be knowing that Shadow is going to be helping. Or at least, he would've. But then Minato, always having felt like, Shadow was kind of like the precursor to his actual son. So, he doesn't let him go out. He tells him that these are orders from his Hokage, his superior. You are not to leave this building where you are usually stationed and before you go on any operations. You are not to leave this building at any time until given other orders otherwise. Is that understood, Falcon? Because, he has a mask on. And Shadow was just crushed. He wants to help. That thing is killing so many people and destroying so many of their houses and everything else. It's destroying him inside to see everything like this. And also destroying him inside to see that Minato won't let him help. And then he sees the look in Minato's eyes. That basically tells him what he needs to know and why he's being given these orders. He just now got his own wife and child to safety, or whatever you can call safety, and is now about to fight the battle of his life atop his own summons, the Chief Toad Gamabunta. He gives him that look, and all of a sudden Shadow understands. Well, he understands, but he's still actually he likes it even less now. Minato, your child will grow up without a father if what you're about to do is what you're going to do. If you do that, he will grow up without a father. And then Minato says the final thing that just breaks Shadow. And what I think Kushina is all about. Without a mother as well. And then just flying Raijin to a marker so far away that Shadow would never be able to catch up to him. Because of the state that his mind is in, he wouldn't be able to use chaos control and enough of consistency of chaos power to get to him in time before he does it. Because he just doesn't summon Gamabunta. He summons the Death God. And with the Death God summon, the Shiki Fujin, it's a soul for a soul. And the only one there, Minato's riding on his summons. And Minato just summoned the Death God, so it would have to be his soul for something else, and right now he's fighting the Ninetales. So, the Death God can connect the dots. But Kushina, she senses all sorts of chakras. Because that's one thing that Uzumakis are good at doing. One of their... Okay. I don't think I was being too loud. Sensory ability. She senses all sorts of shit. And one of the things that she senses? The Death God. Minato. And, without even knowing it, she takes Naruto with her. Yeah, she was that pissed. She didn't even notice that she was taking Naruto with her. And well, I mean, you do need to seal it in something. You seal the fox in something. Because, Minato did realize that he could only, seal half of it in him to take to the belly of the Reaper. The other half had to go somewhere. Couldn't just stay here. And that's where the change just came out of nowhere. And got my Bunta realizing, Kushina, even though your husband didn't want you to, I knew you would. And Kushina's like, yeah, boss dude. I gotta teach my husband a lesson. And well, Minato does end up telling Kushina that, well, can't really reseal it inside of her. Plus, I mean, one half he's already sealed inside of himself to die in the belly of the Reaper with. So that wouldn't really work now, would it? And Kushina, well, she's already tired as a fucking O. So, yeah, definitely wouldn't work. So, basically, it's prepared even though Kushina really doesn't want to fucking do it. But Minato said it's the only way. And seeing as they've been stationary for long enough, Shadow can pinpoint something. Since, he's finally got his emotions in somewhat of a check. Chaos control! And just sends himself all the way over there. But hides himself automatically. Because he knows this dude is the hero of the Third Shinobi War. So if he doesn't hide himself automatically, he will be spotted. But he does see everything happen. Up until the very moment Claw stabbed through. Shadow, it hurts him so hard to not go over there and save him, but he's already made the sacrifice to the Death God. They both use their bodies as shields to save Naruto. At least, that's what Minato ends up telling the third right before he dies. That this boy, their son, his name is Naruto, and for him to be seen as a hero by the rest of the village for what his sacrifice is, containing the 9 tails. And so, basically, since, Hiruzen doesn't know about the orders from Minato that were given to Shadow, Shadow is able to coax Hiruzen into, even his professor mind isn't able to tell that Shadow is basically manipulating the fuck out of him. He basically coaxed him into letting him have Naruto. And also, before he decides to just up and leave, he's like, "Condolences for what happened to Buako. I know she meant a lot to you." And Hiruzen is just like, "Yes, she did, Shadow. Yes, she did. She meant a lot to me." And then they just part ways, but Hiruzen doesn't sense how exactly they, actually part ways. Shadow makes it seem like, he's going by tree as, like, Hiruzen is also going by tree. But at the last second, as he knows that Hiruzen can't sense this, he decides to use Chaos Control again to take that big leap back to the Hokage building. Because he knows that with everything going on, Hiruzen won't be re-elected back into office just yet. Because even though that they need a new Kage, with Tsunade and then Jiraiya in the position that they're in, they obviously wouldn't be the people to ask. So the only other person they have to really ask is the previous Hokage to basically go step back into office. But they're not going to be doing that for a while. Shadow, thanks to Minato, and maybe some a little bit to Kushina, thanks to her a little bit, somehow. Shadow, well, what he decides to do, what he decides to fucking do. Well, he did hear of one thing, as he's taken off his Anbu mask to let the little baby see him. And Naruto doesn't seem to know what to think about whatever is standing over him. And then, Shadow's like, "I have better things to do. But I also gotta make sure that I can sense for if anyone else wants to come in and try and get Naruto. While I'm preparing this, Minato, Kushina, you were right. The art of sealing can do a lot of good things. Fuinjutsu." I had no idea how, but I was somehow able to do it. Part by part. Behind your backs, I felt so bad, though. I still feel bad. But for some reason, I kept on having those nightmares that I would need to do it. And I never even knew what I was making until the finished project came out. I had to make an entire freaking room, or at least that's what I thought. That is until Danzo offered his services. Though, there is often a saying, the fox are faster than the hounds that hunt it. Danzo Shimura, I knew what game you were playing all along. Never actually found out where my little project was. Now did you, old warhawk? Yeah, that's right, even I know that about your ass. Minato was very willing to tell me. Minato-sensei. Yes, because of the way, how well Minato treated Shadow, he actually calls him Minato-sensei. And basically it's just like, Naruto, you and me are going to need to go into a certain specific room. There, some things that happened to me in order to make me, well, me, are going to happen to you. But in order for that to happen, and not it be detected automatically, I'm going to need to give up all of my energy. This will make you even more like the intended purpose, as opposed to make you like. I'm sorry, Minato-sensei, but I have to do this. I will not allow him to suffer. I will not allow him to be defenseless. He will be this world's ultimate life form. He may still carry the name, but the alias will still be there. Shadow. You had your own title, didn't you, Minato-sensei? The Yellow Flash. Well, Naruto here. I have something for you. You might find this one day and wonder why it's there. Well, if you look on the inside, and I mean literally look on the inside, you'll find something I inscribed using one of your father's kunai. The special ones, at least. Yeah, one of them. That's how special this is. How special you are. To both me and your father and your mother and your godparents. Even though, for some god-forsaken reason, they couldn't be here to help protect the village. Apparently. What you'll find inscribed within the inside of my falcon mask, as I plan for no one else to carry it. It's a specially designed falcon mask. Falcon Ambu mask. Sleeper agent. What you'll find carved in to the inside. The Shadow Flash, Naruto Uzumaki. Or, more put correctly, the Shadow Flash, Namikaze Naruto Uzumaki. And well, that's why I have to hide this pretty well. Until the time is right. It won't present itself until the time is right for you to find it. And once you look underneath the underneath, then you will find the engraving. I have this special power, a mixture of chakra and a special power I call chaos energy. It's mixed within the engraving so that only you can read it. And, well, myself, if I were to ever actually be able to be there with you, but I know that's not possible. So, well, now, Seal. That's that. And now, head to the room. I know none of his agents are around yet. They're still picking up the scrap. Within the shadows, but picking up the scrap, they are still doing that. And as for Donzo, he's probably doing some more shady dealings with Orochimaru, no doubt. I fucking hate you, Donzo Shimura. And I hope, as the Shadow Flash, you one day, or at least someone you know is close to you, will take that bastard down. For, I guess, seeing as someone's already taken up the title of Godfather, guess like an uncle? Yeah, your Uncle Shadow. For your Uncle Shadow, please. At least someone close to you. If not you, then someone close. And take him down. For me. Oh, well, that's enough reminiscing. It's time to do this. Chaos. As all the emeralds basically would be spotted in the different slots, just like in the Eclipse canon. But this is different because it's not a canon. Naruto's basically in the middle. And basically, the middle spot basically looks like what Shadow was in whenever he was being created. With the Chaos Emeralds in the different slots surrounding that. And, basically Shadow like, Chaos Control. With all the different shit attached to him as he's saying this. The emeralds would basically disappear into him and then reappear in Sonic's world. Because as soon as they did that, Shadow would disappear, causing the emeralds to need somewhere to be. And this place is too not, similar to them. It's too unfamiliar, so they need somewhere to be. So they just reappear in Sonic's world. Simple as that. Out of the human world. But, I'm pretty sure that those two worlds are pretty much tied together. So, yeah, that's basically how Naruto became Shadow the Hedgehog, or at least the new one. Or what he will soon know himself to be, the Shadow Flash. Sooner than you guys think. Because the time's set, for him to really, actually find that. That's not the only thing he's going to find. Because there were other things. Sealing arrays also made on the inside of the mask. And what those sealing arrays contain. Scrolls with what they contain. Oh yes. Definitely Shadow the Hedgehog. Basically, instead of just running away from people whenever he gets caught with a prank. He just, teleports. They have no idea what kind of shit that is. That isn't the flying Raijin of their Hokage. Fourth Hokage. No way the demon knows that. It doesn't even look like what he uses, or used to use, whenever he was alive. Doesn't even look like that. At all. Though they do notice that is a kind of teleportation. And sometimes he just makes straight fools out of them by 1 second, one thing, and the next second, wait, how did we get in this? And wait, how did this happen? Look, yeah, he's also learned how to dabble into a little bit of those time messery abilities. Even how to slow down and speed up time for really comedic moments. But Iruka-sensei would always be the one to catch him, even whenever he was using his teleport. Because even with all his monstrous stamina, and that's also from the whole experimentation thing, well, with the fact that Shadow is the fucking ultimate life form. And, well, he doesn't just have chakra and Tail Beast chakra. And, well, the fact that his chakra is Uzumaki chakra. And, well, whatever of Namikaze that he has. It's also Shadow the fucking Hedgehog. The ultimate life form. Even with everything that he has, Naruto still can't seem to, escape Iruka-sensei. And, well, whenever it comes time for the transform, because, they're gonna have to redo the transformation because Naruto was, not showing up for class, blah, 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 blah. Whenever he does the sexy jutsu, he does it in the most, gotta say, goth girl-like thing. Like, I'm talking Wednesday Addams level shit. Just because Naruto wanted to do that. But like Wednesday Addams, if she was like around the age of like what they make the characters in Sailor Moon look like whenever their age is actually a lot younger than what you would think, considering how they're showing them off in the opening. So yeah, that kind of Wednesday Addams. So no wonder both of them nosebleed and damn near faint. Like, the students are wondering if they should get a doctor in here because of Naruto's extra special ultimate sexy jutsus. That's what he likes to call them. Ultimate sexy jutsus. Yes, pranking nature and sexiness. He likes to do that. And so basically just figures out the correct, perfect way to mess with certain people. And so yeah, he has different kinds of sexy jutsus. But they're all under the classification of ultimate sexy jutsu. Basically different kind of females that he transforms into. For each different pervert that he meets. And the one he has for Hiruzen, oh my god, does that old man have no fucking shame? Because the one he has for Hiruzen is the fucking S-Death one, where she barely has any clothing on. Yeah, it's like one of those moments where S-Death is trying to be all seductive and shit. Yeah. That kind of sexy jutsu. Or ultimate sexy jutsu, as Naruto calls them now. But that's the one he uses on Hiruzen, because he knows it will work on Hiruzen. Whereas he calls him Old Man. So, yeah, basically, seeing as Naruto's chakra control is shit still, you know, the same thing that happens in canon happens, and well, Naruto is told about his burden. And around this time, and basically the whole time, whenever Mizuki is like, he'll try to use this girl for power and blah blah blah, that's what beasts are like. And Iruka's like, yeah, that's what beasts are like, but Naruto isn't like that. He's Naruto Uzumaki of the village hidden in the leaves. Basically, Naruto's like, oh, there is someone who actually gives a damn about me. And, you know, he does have his, you know, shadow clones appear. You know, solid clones. But instead of just pummeling on him, they decide to have some fun with a new thing that they figured out that they can do. Because of how much, you know, pissed off that they were. They felt a brand new sensation, a brand new power. Chaos Spear. And basically just pelt this dude to shit. Like, he is effed up after they get done with him. And well, basically, whenever it comes, you know, to the time, you know, assignments, and Kiba wants to make his own little quip out. This is for actual people. I think it's either Kiba or Shikamaru make the quip about, you know, people that actually graduated. And basically, Naruto decides to stop time using chaos control and put Kiba in Shikamaru's seat and Shikamaru in Kiba's seat, and then start time back up. And basically, they're like, what the fuck? Because, are they getting, or did he just, his time thing ability get even more clean and smooth than whenever they saw him last? And Naruto's also like, oh, I can also do this. And they just see this yellow thing in his hand, and they're just like, nope, not trying that. You've already proved yourself, Naruto. No need to do any more. Because Naruto just seamlessly, like, transported Kiba to Shikamaru and Shikamaru to Kiba, basically, in their seats. And then decided to basically just display a ball of, like, you know, show, you know, that he can just make a chaos spear without actually having to fire it. Yes, he can actually handle them pretty well without actually having to fire them. So, yeah. Basically, as everyone gets, team assigned, and, Sakura's having her inner Sakura moment, as she's like, yeah, with Sasuke, yeah. And then Naruto is just like, chaos control. Move Sakura away a little bit. Sit next to Sasuke, because that's where Sakura was kind of moving towards. And then, starts time back. And basically Sakura's like, wait, what the and Naruto's just like, whisper something into Sakura's ear before she can even do anything. I was like, Sasuke likes strong women. Maybe if you show him that you're strong, maybe he'll actually, talk to you. Actually show any sort of affection or acknowledge your fucking existence. I try all the time to get you to notice me, but apparently you just think that that's annoying. Whatever. There. I did my one good act for the day. Now, whatever. Yeah, Naruto is not the most charitable person sometimes, but can be very charitable some other times. It's just it all has to do with his mood. Just like with Shadow. And well, Sakura actually does get to thinking about that. She's punched Naruto before, but those punches were always just winding back her arm and just, throwing it, not really actually punching. She just swung wildly. She never actually used any actual physical force because, well, in ninja school, way back whenever it was the ninja lady teaching them about all the flower stuff, they never really get taught all that much about that. And by the time they did, well, Sakura got too much set into her fangirlishness, to think about that all that much. And Naruto's like, fine, good act number 2. Since you seem to be in a lot of deep contemplation. Another thing, considering how much action we'll probably get, doing ninja work, we're probably going to burn off a lot of fat that we usually do get. And since you seem to be doing a lot of dieting, that would just turn you into a fucking skeleton. You think Sasuke wants to date a fucking skeleton? Yeah, so I advise you don't diet. But hey, why would you ever listen to me? I'm just Naruto Uzumaki, the annoying little sack of shit that you never want to pay any attention to. And now Sakura just feeling bad because, Naruto just hit her with the straight Carfax. And that's kind of how she's always, made it look like. And so basically she's like, okay, starting around, now I'm no longer going to freaking diet because Naruto, I feel weird saying this, but you know what? Bullshit. I shouldn't say that. Naruto is genuinely indeed right. I shouldn't be dieting. Besides, my infatuation with Sasuke It's more or less a contest in between me and Ing Pig. That I know she'll win if I don't take these, little pickups from Naruto. These little things. Wait, is Naruto actually helping me get with Sasuke even though he loves me? What is with that? Man. And I thought, wow. Like, Sakura's just having to think. Maybe Naruto's a lot more deep than she thought he was of a person. A lot more deep. And so whenever it actually comes time for the bell test, well, whenever the whole thing is said about, well, not eating or else they would throw up, Sakura immediately goes to talk to Naruto. To Sasuke's, shock. Not really shock horror, but, just shock. And I'm just like, so what do you think? Do you actually think that he's serious? Or is this just some sort of ploy to get us to screw ourselves over? And the moment that Naruto goes like, ding, ding, ding. Getting you to realize that was like taking candy from a baby. Way too damn easy. All I had to do was just some little pointers, and already you're looking up. Wait, is that actual? Damn. The moment we actually get to some actual missions, you might actually get some, not scrawny, but actual good muscle. And that there is a compliment, so you know. Pointing to his head just to remind Sakura about the many times where he's hit him. And where he's been hit. So, yeah, and to, Sasuke's shock, whatever, they're actually having a conversation without Sakura getting pissed and attacking Naruto. And, Naruto showing off another power, and Sasuke being even more pissed because he needs that power to kill his brother. But then, the moment that he gets, more, invested into their conversations, he actually begins to understand why all of this. And then he begins to, he thinks he's starting to understand the puzzle. Like Shikamaru has said this before, but, the puzzle that is Uzumaki Naruto. And Sasuke thinks that he might just be, understanding why he calls Naruto a puzzle. And, just thinking that, if he is one, then he's a really fucking hard one to solve. But then he remembers, that feeling whenever, it was just like, Itachi, why? And just seeing his parents and, everyone else, and, they weren't breathing, and how, his parents had basically been hacked like some sort of Jack the Ripper case. And, the reason Itachi gave was just a bullshit. Just letting you guys know early on. And, Sasuke is just like remembering that night, but for some reason not remembering it with blind hatred. Remembering it as a sort of way to solve the puzzle that is Uzumaki Naruto. That feeling that he had that night, those feelings, the myriad of feelings that he had. And try to use them as a way to possibly help him figure out Naruto. But then Sakura comes out like the fuck out of nowhere with some tips of her own to give to Sasuke, because she thinks that she might know what Sasuke is trying to do, boring freaking holes into Naruto with his eyes. Basically, like, you're trying to figure him out, aren't you? Don't. It took me forever and I still couldn't. Why he's acting the way he's acting. And everything else in between. Well, if you're really that interested, Sasuke, realizing that there was no kun suffix added, but also like just continuing to listen, if you're really that interested, just get to know the guy. I actually started listening to him for once without hitting him, and well, he's a lot deeper than you think. Or at least might think at first. And well, with that said, and well, Sakura not going completely fangirl, on him the moment she sees him, well, this could indeed be true. Naruto Uzumaki is not only just a puzzle, but he's a deep puzzle to solve. But Sasuke needs that power, and now he needs something else to figure out that damn puzzle, which is Uzumaki Naruto. And so Naruto has decided, why doesn't he give Sasuke some clues? In just a few simple words, as basically their teacher explains what the test is all about and everything else about the test. A few simple words: watch and learn. As well, Genin are not supposed to be able to scrap with Jonin. There's a clear rank difference there. But Naruto just seems to see that and just shoot it in the face, because, here he is, scrapping with Kakashi. Using a myriad of different chaos abilities. Also tying them up with, wait, Sasuke seeing Naruto doing all of this, he had only known his brother to be able to, well, he's the only other person he's seen be able to do it. Infuse one of his limbs with chakra to make the impact stronger. Or at least do something different with that specific limb. And well, it's safe to say that, Kakashi doesn't get that many chances to actually safely escape Naruto's attacks, and whenever he does get genuinely hit, it hurts like a bitch. Because Naruto is constantly teleporting and then, reappearing where Kakashi least expects it, and whenever that point where he's about to use the Tiger Hand Seal for the 1,000 Years of Death, dude just turns into a spinball and runs around him, making him delirious. Like Kakashi is legit dizzy. And Sakura is making hand motions towards Sasuke. And it's just like, now! And Sasuke's like, oh shit. And he's like, whoosh, like Night of the Wind. Because, Sasuke's hair is black and, well, just like went like the wind, like with his speed. And the moment, like, Kakashi's able to anything anymore, he's just like, no, wait, what the fuck? Something's not there that's supposed to be there. And wait, then the timer goes off, but something's seen in Sasuke's hands. The bells. He flicks his 2 fingers in different directions of that one hand. Basically, Naruto's on one side, Sakura on the other side. Basically flicking, the bells, one of them to one side and one of them to the other side. Seeing as he's part of the team, that would technically also make this a team receive. So technically, since Sasuke had the bells for the moment, he wouldn't have actually not gotten the bells. He would, have still gotten the bell, but just have given it to his teammates so that they would also have gotten the bell. And he does so. From all of this show. Because don't act like throughout all of this, Naruto is also doing some hand signs to show Sasuke, like some Anbu hand signs, since Itachi was part of Anbu. Obviously, Sasuke, even though he's just a little kid, would know Anbu hand signs. And well, come on. Shadow was part of the Anbu, like a special sleeper agent Anbu. So, it would be ingrained into Naruto's head as well. He just wouldn't show it quite yet, until now. And well, it would make for the perfect plan. Because, Sasuke would be able to make the hand signs back to Sakura, so they would all know the plan. That's basically let Naruto do most of the long haul, because their part would basically be for Sakura to be, it's kind of like bait, but like unofficial bait. And well, Naruto would have most of the fun, and Sasuke, once Kakashi was in delirium, La La Land, get the bells. And so, basically, it would just be like, Team 7, you're the first of my teams to have passed. Good job. Yeah. You would genuinely acknowledge them. All 3 of them. Because, Sakura, even she was good at being bait. Like, even if it was unofficial bait, still bait. she was good at doing that. And so Sasuke played his part, and Naruto definitely played his part in making Kakashi definitely needs some sort of relaxation after this. And also after giving his report to the Hokage. And well, I think we will do these as genuine arcs. A sort of opening arc. Then we get into Land of Waves. Then the full entirety of the Chunin exams that includes Jiraiya's training. All the way up until the Konoha Crush. Yeah, basically, Chunin exams, Jiraiya's training, like in between the two different things, and the Konoha Crush that goes with the Chunin exams. So basically, all of that in one go. And then the next big thing will be, search for Tsunade. As well with, Itachi and Kisame. Their thing. And well, the next big arc I can think of after Search for Tsunade. Seeing as Tsunade basically heals a lot of people after she goes to the Leaf and becomes Hokage. 5th Hokage to be exact. I think I'm pretty sure that's Sasuke retrieval arc after that. So yeah, if we're just including Part 1 Naruto for now, and yes I said for now, yeah, that's pretty much the lineup. That's how I'm pretty much thinking I should make that go. So, as Naruto would say himself, let's go wild.